If you're in charge of facilities, structures, or equipment at your place of business, AmeriClean has a question for you. Is it better and less expensive to repair or replace? That's an age-old question that we'd like to answer for you in this way. Sometimes it's better to repair, and sometimes it's better to replace, but it's always best to protect to avoid expensive repairs and replacements. Hi, I'm Mark Miller, President of AmeriClean, the region's premier contracting company, specializing in commercial and industrial painting and cleaning services. With nearly 20 years of experience providing businesses cutting-edge painting and cleaning solutions, we've helped hundreds of businesses delay or avoid the expensive and harmful effects of corrosion. The lack of proper protection will lead to premature deterioration and eventual failure of your facilities, structures, and equipment. The costs associated with repairs or replacements made necessary by this corrosive decay can be devastating to your business. It's estimated that in 2004 alone, this corrosive decay cost businesses and taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars in repairs and replacements. As a member of the Society for Protective Coatings, AmeriClean personnel continue to train and learn about the best ways to protect your business from corrosive decay. We can develop a protective coatings plan for your business that will extend the expected life cycle of your vital facilities, structures, and equipment, ultimately saving you money, big money. And when you choose AmeriClean, you're also working with a company that is dedicated to providing top-notch customer service and, most importantly, a safe work atmosphere. We constantly work and train on ways to make doing business with us easy for you. I'd like you to see a brief video produced by the Society for Protective Coatings called The Value of Coatings. As you watch it, be thinking about conditions around your place of business. When you take a step back and really look at your facility with a critical eye, what do you see? Cracked paint? Rust? Deteriorated steel? Could your current conditions lead to an increase in accidents or a decrease in productivity? What do you say we take just a couple minutes together and learn about the value of coatings?
A corroded bridge collapses, killing several motorists and injuring a dozen others. A chemical tank ruptures, threatening plant personnel and alarming nearby communities. An aging tanker develops a breach, releasing thousands of gallons of crude oil and destroying a delicate ecosystem. However rare, these are extreme but real examples of industry's worst nightmare. A safety breach that results in destruction, injury, or death. When a structure or vessel is built, the first priority must always be safety, and safety should remain an ongoing objective. There are usually two more requirements. The structure must last through its intended service life, and it must operate at peak efficiency throughout this lifetime. Making sure these requirements are met means making the right decisions at the right times. Of course, there are several other factors to consider. Cost is often the one that takes precedence. When you add the initial costs of design, engineering, construction, and materials to the ongoing costs of maintenance, inspection, operations, and outages, you get the lifetime or life cycle costs of the structure. Most owners strive to keep the life cycle costs to a minimum while ensuring optimum performance and service life. Doing so is crucial to the bottom line. There is a proven way to cut costs while extending service life, and that's through the use of protective coatings and linings.
Oh, it's a lot cheaper to paint something than it is replace it. What we found out that is probably 7 to 10 times cheaper to coat than it is to go in and rip out and replace a piece of steel. You know, we've been through several ships where it's come in and we've had to take out a section of steel and replace it in, where if we'd had done it coating right, then that would have never happened. It would probably lasted 30 years.
I know a good example of the city of Virginia Beach, the Water Authority, where they saved $6 million through routine maintenance and painting of their infrastructure as over what it would cost to replace these tanks. That's a good example of how taxpayers can save money through a scheduled routine maintenance program.
At any phase of a structure's life cycle, we can compare the total long-term costs of several maintenance approaches and then choose the one that provides the best overall service and return on investment. To preserve and maintain structures, nothing can match the long-term value and protection offered by coatings and linings. Coatings are more than just an essential part of ongoing maintenance. They also provide a significant return on investment. Unfortunately, a lack of awareness of the value of coatings or the consequences of inadequate protection can cause key decision makers to defer or eliminate necessary coating projects. The effort to reduce short-term costs can also be to blame. Whatever the reason, the results of this decision can be costly or even disastrous. Recent reports from respected sources include some rather startling statistics on the annual cost of corrosion. In 1995, it was estimated that the cost of corrosion in the United States was a staggering $300 billion, 4 times what it had been a decade before. A more recent study by the Federal Highway Administration and NACE International estimated the cost to be $440 billion, or 5% of the United States' gross domestic product. Perhaps the most surprising statistic of all is that up to a full third of these costs could have been eliminated by using protective coatings and linings.
So it's very important for us to keep our structures operating as long as possible, as reliably as possible, and under all conditions of weather and traffic and service. So keeping a bridge in service is our primary concern. If the bridge deteriorates where it has to be closed simply because it wasn't painted, we feel that's not being very responsible in our service to the public.
You know the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? That's especially true when it comes to protecting valuable facilities and other corporate and government assets. Think about the economic effect corrosion can have on your business. Now consider this. Most of these costs could be eliminated with protective coatings and linings. Add these potential savings to the economic benefits of prolonging a facility's useful service life, and you'll easily see the value. Still, there are those who believe that coatings do little more than improve appearance. The cosmetic properties of coatings are important, but coatings are designed to do so much more.
There are a lot of high-performance coating advantages that exist today that didn't exist 5 or 6 or 7 years ago for coatings. Owners have the choice of color and gloss retention. They have the choice of higher performing coatings as far as abrasion is concerned, chemical resistance. There are coatings that are available that allow you to paint much quicker. They allow more productivity gains in coatings. These are all the advances that really make painting today easier and present a better value to the owner.
There are many different kinds of protective coatings and linings on the market. Some perform best in certain applications and under certain conditions. Most are designed to perform well under a wide variety of conditions. Nearly all coatings and linings protect by acting as a barrier between the underlying surface and the surrounding environment. This strong barrier essentially removes the surface from contact with moisture, contaminants, and other detrimental elements that lead to accelerated deterioration. Of course, the materials themselves are just one component of a successful coating project.
Looking at coatings contractors for bridges particularly, we're very interested in programs like the PCCP program at SSPC because of the fact that it does establish a level playing field. It establishes standard criteria that all contractors must meet and gives us a sense of confidence that at least they're aware of the regulations, they're aware of quality painting practices, and we have a much better sense that we're starting out on the right foot to get a quality job.
The selection of suitable materials, sound and practical specifications, adequate surface preparation, and proper application techniques are critical to the success of any coating project. Manufacturers often play a vital role in the development of specifications, as well as other services such as plant inspections and testing. It's important that the people who provide these products and services have adequate training and experience. They must be familiar with current standards and practices. Fortunately, these factors don't have to be left to chance. Professional organizations like SSPC, ASTM, NACE, and ISO provide well-established, internationally recognized standards for the performance, selection, and application of coating materials. They also have standards for the preparation of steel and concrete surfaces. Many of these organizations provide training and certification programs for those who specify, manage, or conduct surface preparation and coating operations, as well as for those who inspect the quality of coatings work.
Training of my people is very important. One of the things that we have to do is we're not only responsible for training ourselves, we're also responsible for training the worker bees who work in the yard in the coating industry. And so it's important that we be up to date, have the newest technologies, and have all the new training methods that we have. So it's very important that my group of people be highly skilled and highly trained.
Any analysis you do will show you that maintaining the structure in the most appropriate way will get you to the life of that structure in the cheapest way versus letting the structure deteriorate and having to replace it.
The right materials and equipment, specified and applied by trained, qualified personnel in accordance with accepted standards and practices, are crucial to success. By doing the job right, you and your organization can realize the value of coatings.
AmeriClean has more than 20 years of experience cleaning, prepping, sandblasting, and painting for commercial and industrial customers. This, combined with our ongoing training and certification programs, makes us a better choice for this type of work. Call us to find out more at the number below or visit our website at paintersandcleaners.com. With AmeriClean, finally, it's easy to do the right thing to protect your property and equipment from the costly effects of corrosion.